Welcome to EchoExperience 2023. We are so excited to welcome you all to our now second annual virtual Global Inspired Learning Conference. Some of you for day two, and some of you for the day. I'm Jeff Peterson, and for the second inspired year in a row, I'm joined by Echo360's Chief Product Officer, Catherine Stewart.
Yeah, Jeff, it's great to be here again with you and literally hundreds of current and future Echo360 customers from all around the world for another Echo experience. Quick shout out to one of our global captioning partners, CLO24. They provided the captioning for all of the pre-recorded material that you'll see today. And if you'd like to take advantage of their live captioning today, you can click on the link in the discussion panel in the top toolbar. Like you said, for some of those with us today, this is actually day two. Yesterday, we had a pre-conference customer-only workshop to really roll up some sleeves, share best practices from some of our best customers all around the globe.
Yeah, and this year it was hosted by our very own Allison Maloney, who you'll all get a chance to meet a little bit later. She's the Director of Professional Learning here at Echo. And yes, as usual, anytime we get a chance to get two or more customers in a room, whether it's a virtual room or a real room, sharing their ideas, best practices, and real use cases, great things tend to happen.
That is so true, because what was especially cool about yesterday's workshop is Allison orchestrated a truly global dialogue. She had higher ed leaders from our APAC, EMEA, and North America regions participating. In addition to the wide-ranging use cases and best practices, it was also just a really neat way to further build the Echo360 community of inspired learning leaders from around the world.
Yeah, it was very, very, very cool indeed. And as we mentioned, you'll all get a chance to meet Allison a little bit later today and hear about the exciting work that she's leading to build the Echo360 community and professional learning initiatives all around the world. And speaking of all around the world, while we are here, nestled in our EchoExperience headquarters here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, we've got virtual attendees and our own Echo360 team members from all around the world with us today, including Paul Herdman, our head of the EMEA region, coming to us all the way from London. Hey, Paul, thanks for joining us from across the pond.
Hey, Jeff. Greetings from across the pond here in sunny London. As you can see, I'm actually in my outdoor office or my garden. I wish I could be joining you bright and early there in Minneapolis, but it's closer to the end of the day here. So if you don't mind, I think I'll join you online. It looks like this year's Echo Experience is going to be a great event. We've got some great customers from EMEA joining you: University of Sheffield, University of Warwick, University of Nottingham, University of Edinburgh, LSC, King's College London, UCL, and many more. Excited to have them take part today, plus many others joining us from other universities and other organizations, and excited for the conversations around AI and inspired learning we're going to have. So here's to a great event. Bye.
Nice backyard, Paul. Seriously, that looked like a Jimmy Buffett or maybe Tom Jones restaurant concept.
Totally.
In addition to Paul and the customers that he mentioned joining us from EMEA, we also have some great representation from our Asia Pacific region and other corners of the world. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to see exactly where in the world everybody is today. So during the countdown, you all had a chance to log into Echo Poll, our latest innovation in educational polling and audience response. If you didn't get a chance to do that yet, you can go to the chat window and access Echo Poll for free through the link that you see there. We'll be using Echo Poll throughout the entire day to get your feedback, input, interaction with today's content, just like how instructors can use Echo Poll to keep learners engaged in and out of the classroom. And I thought we could give Echo Poll a spin right off the bat by seeing where you're all from. So check out the map here and just click on or near the location you're joining us from, or maybe where you'd like to be joining us from. And as we can see where everybody is in real time, we will make that call.
All right, so let's fire up the poll here, and we'll kind of see where everybody's tuning in from. And again, this could be where you are from, like right now, or where you want to be from. Really?
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of where your mind is.
Could be an aspirational. Could be an inspirational.
Oh, look at that. We've already got folks that are looking like they're from in the UK.
Yeah, I think that's Annandale, Minnesota, right there. It's a little bit to the right there. but
as responses come in, it's really interesting. Again, this is such a simple thing. It's a really great way if you're starting a class for the first time, let's say at the beginning of the semester. A lot of times you want to find out where your students may be joining you from, either in the classroom or outside the classroom. It's also great for meetings, you know, when you first start and talk about that. So it's a lot of fun.
So it's good to know that Paul is tuning in there from London, and so we'll move on, and we'll have more opportunities throughout the day for you all to participate in different Echo polls. So here's another question, actually right off the bat here. So this one is, which of the following best describes your role? Are you a teacher or instructor, a tech director or administrator, a student or individual learner, or potentially just an accidental viewer who thought maybe this was some kind of tribute to Jimi Hendrix and the Jimi Hendrix Experience and not EchoExperience 2023. So if anybody does actually answer D, then we'll do a closed circuit after the EchoExperience.
But I'm noticing there's no Tom Jones option there.
There's no Tom Jones. We should have been a little bit more probably global and everything. But anyway, these just give you some fun examples of what you can be doing with Echo Poll. And like we said, we'll be giving you all opportunities to participate in Echo Poll throughout the day. So in addition to Echo Poll, okay, we are also using another fantastic Echo 360 solution as you're all viewing this through Echo Video, which is our flagship video content management platform used by thousands of instructors and millions of learners all around the world. And so we should probably just now give a quick rundown of the agenda for everybody, so you know kind of what's coming up, some of the great guest speakers and content that we'll be covering today. So we are just minutes away, as I look at that little countdown timer here just off screen, from our opening keynote presentation from Dr. Derek Bruff, who, for those who have been tracking teaching technologies, active learning research for the last, 15 plus years, you've heard of Derek. And we're thrilled to have him here today to kick off the day with some really practical, actionable principles of what he calls intentional tech.
I know, we're so excited to have Derek here because the work he did at Vanderbilt and the work he's done since to further advance the learning and adoption of what he calls intentional tech has really shaped the way companies like Echo 360 develop products and support instructors, admins, and students. In addition to Derek, we have a couple of very special guests representing the world of AI, the hottest topic not only in ed tech, but also any tech, quite frankly. We're going to be joined right here in the studio by Jesus Trujillo Gomez from Google. We're very excited to have him, fresh actually from California. He came out here specially for that. And Dia Nguyen from AWS. And yes, I do mean Amazon Web Services, for those of you who are familiar with that, who will be giving us some insight on how two of the largest tech partners and leaders in the world are approaching and advancing AI, especially targeted for education.
Yep. And Jesus and Dia will also be part of our closing fireside chat. We're going to be building a little fire right here in the studio. Fire marshals, don't tune in, just kidding. On the future of AI in education, again, in inspired learning. And they'll be joined by Joe Pine, who some of you may remember from last year's EchoExperience opening keynote. Joe, as some of you know, is really the pioneer of what's called the experience economy. And for over 20 years, he's really been challenging leaders in business and education, the public sector, to more deeply engage consumers and learners and citizens by kind of redefining sort of the currency that we measure impact to be more about the experiences that we're creating versus just the information that we're disseminating. So you can imagine the whole machine learning AI space poses some interesting implications for how those experiences that Joe writes about and talks about and speaks about get consumed, basically. So, but I will have to say, our most esteemed speaker of the day just happens to be standing right next to me.
Well, thank you, Jeff. But I am so excited to give everybody a look at our Echo 360 product roadmap. The team has worked closely with our customers and partners like Google and AWS to really understand not only what's needed, but what Echo 360 can be providing to help instructors get ahead of the curve to provide more ways for all learners to fully engage with material live or asynchronously across the entire ecosystem.
Yes, I'm very glad we could negotiate your speaking fee. She's not cheap talent.
Not cheap,
people.
no.
Not at all. No.
Couple of
So-
good cups of coffee and I'm good.
Exactly. Okay, so now in between our star power today, we will also be providing some updates on Echo Professional Learning. We will be announcing our 2023 E3 grant winners. Very exciting. And we'll be providing some updates on some of our 2022 E3 grant winners as well. So lots of inspired stuff to cover. So let's get into it.
Yes, let's do it. But some quick housekeeping before we officially introduce today's opening keynote. First off, just in case you missed it earlier or you joined late, had to get that last cup of coffee, you can join the Echo Poll session today to participate in all of the interactive questions. You can see a code on the screen that will be presented right now. It's a QR code, and you can open up a second browser or conveniently use your phone to join us with this QR code. Our great esteemed folks in the studio here, Woody will be flashing that on the screen so that you'll be able to scan that right away. In addition to getting interactive with Echo Poll, you can also use the chat function in Echo Video throughout all the sessions to ask any questions, provide any feedback or ideas, and we'll be tracking all of it behind the scenes. Literally, again, you know, Woody's right back there. He's going to be on it. If you see some of these in the shots in the studio here, make sure you make note. He's the guy behind all of this. It's really exciting. We'll surface all of your questions as they come up, or be sure to address them afterward if you put them in the chat.
Yep.
So again, just a quick recap. Make sure you scan that code either with your phone, or you can use the link that's put into the chat, and you can join Echo Poll and take part in all of the great interactive questions.
Yep. Great reminders there, which reminds me of one last reminder, and then we're going to get right to our opening keynote. Everything that you're going to be seeing today, you will be able to consume asynchronously, one of my favorite words, along with concatenate, on our website. So echo360.com/EchoExperience will host everything that you're going to see today. If you missed it, had a cup of coffee, you can go to echo360.com/EchoExperience and get all this stuff. Afterwards, you can watch it again, send it to friends, send it to colleagues. In all seriousness, there's going to be so much great content that we wanted to make sure that you had a chance to consume it again or at your own pace. So you can be able to catch it today live and then anything later on echo360.com.
So that's that bonus content. Right?
Bonus content.
Bonus, that's
Yep.
really awesome. Anybody, join in. But finally, I am so thrilled to introduce Dr. Derek Bruff as our opening keynote. For anybody who's been around using or interested in active learning the last 2 years, you already know who Derek is. He's an educator, an author, and now higher ed consultant after a pioneering career at the Vanderbilt University Center for Teaching for more than a decade, where he helped faculty and other instructors develop foundational teaching skills and explore new ideas in teaching, particularly with technology, and specifically in classroom response systems, clickers, solutions like our very own Point Solutions and Echo Poll. He's also written 2 books, the latest being Intentional Tech, Principles to Guide the Use of Educational Technology in College Teaching, which today's keynote incorporates. So if you haven't read the book yet, you'll get a little sneak preview here today.
Yep, and as you'll see, Derek's presentation has been pre-recorded, but you'll still have a chance to participate in it with Echo Poll, as he will explain, so stay tuned for that. So get your Echo Poll window or device ready and enjoy our kickoff keynote presentation with Dr. Derek Bruff.